All right, welcome back to another explainer. Look, if you're a potential homeowner, a real estate investor, or just a property researcher scoping out the rapidly growing Central Texas market, you are going to want to pay close attention to this one. Today, we're breaking down exactly how to search Hays County property records online, and the best part? It's completely free. We're going to unlock the exact methods you need to bypass all that expensive software so you can access the public data required to make really informed, transparent real estate decisions. So, here's a quick look at our agenda for today. We'll start with why property records matter, then break down the three-part system, walk through a step-by-step search guide, navigate some common challenges, share a few pro tips for beginners, and finally, wrap up with our conclusion and a quick disclaimer. All right, let's jump right into section 1, why property records matter, and the seriously high stakes in real estate.
So are you thinking of buying or investing in Hays County? Maybe you're looking at a spot out in Dripping Springs. Well, imagine this. You just closed on a beautiful, pristine lot, you're super excited, only to suddenly discover a hidden utility easement slicing right through the middle of it, literally ruining your entire development plan. Yeah, it happens. That's exactly why transparency is absolutely vital. You have to do this research to avoid those massive financial nightmares.
Now, there's this huge myth out there that you have to pay for pricey third-party software to do this kind of due diligence. Honestly, you really don't. These public records reveal absolutely crucial data points. We're talking ownership history, exact property tax assessments, zoning details, overlapping taxing entities, and even structural improvement data. All of this is just sitting there, available to you for free if you just know where to look. Okay, moving right along to section 2, the three-part system and understanding how Texas land records actually work. So Texas is a bit unique. It relies on what we call a trifold concept. Basically, it's 3 entirely separate governmental entities holding different pieces of the property puzzle. Unlike some states that just give you one neat little unified portal, Hays County distributes this data based on strict legal rules. First, you've got the Hays Central Appraisal District, or CAD, over in Kyle. They appraise the taxable value. Then you have the county clerk down in San Marcos, who officially records and indexes the deeds. And finally, the tax assessor, also in San Marcos, who actually collects the taxes. To get the full accurate picture, you absolutely need to verify your data across all 3 of these entities. Which brings us to section 3, a step-by-step guide to accessing these records. If you're a complete beginner, don't worry. Just follow this super linear 3-step workflow. Step 1, get what's called the Quick Ref ID from the appraisal district. Step 2, use that specific ID to search the tax portal. And step 3, verify the actual recorded deeds and legal instruments with the county clerk. Simple, right? Let's break these down a bit more. First up, Portal 1. You're going to start at the Appraisal District portal, which is esearch.hayscad.com. This is basically your primary search engine for finding property dimensions and historical values. But hey, listen up, because here is a massive pro tip. You absolutely must use their specific address formatting rules, or you are going to get super frustrated with search mismatches. Enter the street numbers and the names separately, and just leave out the prefixes and suffixes completely. So for example, instead of typing out 4150 East US Highway 290, just enter 4150 into the number field and US 290 in the street field. Trust me, doing it this way is going to save you a ton of headaches. Now, it's pretty wild when you realize the sheer depth of overlapping tax data out there. When you pull up a single CAD record, you're going to see a really complex web of taxing entities all linked to that one specific parcel. We're talking school districts, cities, emergency services districts, municipal utility districts, the whole shebang. This data tells you exactly who has the legal power to levy taxes on your property. And it really shows just how complicated local tax rates and overlapping debt can be. Okay, so once you've grabbed your Quick Rough ID from that first portal, you move right on to Portal 2, the Tax Assessor Collector's dedicated site at tax.co.hayestx.us. You can literally just plug that Quick Rough ID right into the search bar, or you can use the owner's name or situs address to pull up the exact ad valorem tax details, current balances, and full tax histories. And finally, we hit Portal 3. To actually verify title history and deeds, you need to head over to the county clerk's self-service web portal at rssc.oh.hays.tx.us/web. This system runs on a Tyler Technologies interface, and honestly, it is an absolute goldmine. It contains official public records dating all the way back to August 24th, 1848. No joke. It is incredible to have that kind of historical depth just sitting right at your fingertips. Ultimately, this is exactly where you go to find the legally binding documents.
Let's move on to Section 4, navigating common search challenges. Because, yeah, the system isn't totally perfect.
So, one of the biggest traps for researchers is data latency. Basically, there's often a pretty significant delay between these different databases. The county clerk is usually pretty fast. They index newly recorded documents within a matter of days. But the Hayes Cat ownership records, those might take weeks or sometimes even months to update and reflect that exact same change. So think about it. If you're only checking the CAD, you might actually think a property hasn't sold when it really already has. Another big challenge you'll run into is overcoming paywalls and indexing limits. On that Tyler Technologies clerk portal, searching the index itself is totally free. But if you want to view or print the full document images online, that's going to cost you money. On top of that, those short index entries can sometimes contain typos, plus critical details like who owns the mineral rights or exactly where an easement is located are usually only found inside the full text of the document. But here is the ultimate insider solution. You can legally bypass those online copy fees just by visiting the completely free public terminals at the Government Center in San Marcos. You can view the unwatermarked files in person, free of charge.
All right, Section 5, pro tips for beginners. Let's get into some advanced research strategies.
Now listen to this quote straight from the Hayes County Clerk's own web portal. The index is similar to a library card catalog and should not be relied upon in making any decision regarding the underlying document. I mean, that really hits the nail on the head, right? It just emphasizes the absolute necessity of cross-referencing index data with the actual recorded documents. You should never, ever base a massive financial decision on just a quick glance at an online index summary.
If you want to really streamline your workflow, there are some incredible tools out there. You can use central portals like Zip My Parcel, which is super cool because it lets you search a single address and instantly opens direct links to multiple official county systems at the same time. For spatial research, the Hayes County GIS Open Data Portal is just amazing. You can visually overlay FEMA floodplain maps and national wetlands inventory data right on top of the property boundaries. If you're evaluating undeveloped hill country land, checking this spatial data is absolutely vital for spotting any development restrictions long before you decide to buy.
Which brings us to Section 6, our conclusion, and an important legal disclaimer. Okay, quick mandatory disclaimer here, guys. The information provided in this explainer is strictly for educational purposes only. Look, while you can clearly do an immense amount of public research on your own for free, you absolutely must consult with a real estate professional or legal expert for specific advice related to actual property transactions. Getting certified legal advice and a formal title policy is always recommended before you actually go and close on a property. So armed with all this knowledge, you are absolutely no longer in the dark. Now that you have the complete roadmap to navigate this decentralized trifold system, what Hayes County property are you going to research first? Is it going to be a new build out in Kyle? Maybe a commercial lot in Buda? Or how about a sprawling, beautiful ranch in Wimberley? Get out there, pull up those free portals, and start investigating for yourself. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and hey, happy researching!